There's a quiet kind of power in the person who doesn't flinch, who walks through chaos and still breathes with calm. You've seen them. The ones who don't argue, don't react, don't waste a drop of energy proving their worth. It's not that life doesn't test them. It's that they've learned the secret. Peace is not given by the world. It's built from within. The Buddha once said, "Rule your mind or we'll rule you." That's the essence of this idea. Act as if nothing bothers you. Not because you're cold. Not because you don't care. But because your peace is sacred and not everything deserves access to it. Most of us live as if the world decides how we feel. A rude comment ruins our day. A rejection breaks our spirit. An opinion shakes our confidence. But what if you stop giving that power away? What if, instead of reacting, you simply observed? When someone tries to provoke you, you smile. When life throws delays or disappointments, you stay still, grounded, centered. Because deep down you know, every storm passes, but your calm can be permanent. This doesn't mean suppressing emotion. It means mastering it. Like a warrior who feels the heat of battle but still moves with precision, you can feel your emotions fully and still choose peace. To act as if nothing bothers you isn't pretending. It's training. Every moment you refuse to react is a small victory over the ego, over fear, over weakness. It's a practice, the practice of power. You're not numb, you're strong. You're not detached, you're awake. And the more you live this way, the freer you become. The noise of the world begins to fade, and you start hearing something else. Your own quiet wisdom guiding you through every test. So, here's the call. Stop explaining yourself. Stop proving your worth to people who aren't listening. Let go of the need to react. From this moment on, act as if nothing can disturb your peace. Because truly, nothing can unless you let it. Every calm breath you take is a declaration of strength. Every silence you hold is a statement of control. Be unshakable. Be grounded. Be free. If this message speaks to you, don't just nod and scroll on. Live it. Carry it into your day, into your conversations, into your storms. Let your calm become contagious. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more peace. And that peace starts with you. Here's the truth most people never realize. Peace isn't found by escaping chaos. It's built by standing calmly in the middle of it. Every time you choose not to react, you're rewriting your story. The world expects you to fight back, to argue, to defend yourself. But when you refuse to take the bait, you rise above the game. You become untouchable, not because life gets easier, but because you stop letting it control you. The Buddha called this the mastery of mind. It's what separates strength from struggle, power from panic. Think about it. The person who can't control their reaction is a puppet. Their emotions are being pulled by whatever string the world tugs. Someone insults them, they explode. Someone ignores them, they crumble. But the person who pauses, who breathes, who smiles instead of snapping, that's real power. That's freedom. It's not weakness to stay calm. It's wisdom. It's saying, you can throw your storms at me, but I've already built a shelter inside. And here's the secret no one tells you. When you stop reacting, the world loses its grip on you. Suddenly, people's opinions don't matter as much. Their drama stops feeling personal. Their chaos stops being your responsibility. You start moving differently, slower, smoother, lighter. You begin to see that peace isn't passive. It's active, disciplined, and fiercely protective. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start choosing what deserves your energy. Every argument avoided, every insult ignored, every overreaction tamed. That's self-respect in motion. You're not giving silence because you have no words. You're giving silence because your peace is louder. And the beauty of this practice? It spreads. When you stay calm, you change the atmosphere around you. People feel it. Your presence softens rooms. Your calm becomes contagious. You become the eye of the storm, still, centered, unshakable. So here's your next challenge. For the next 24 hours, practice the art of non-reaction. When something tries to trigger you, pause, smile, say nothing. Let your silence speak. Remember, reacting is easy. Anyone can do that. But staying centered, that's power few people ever master. If this message reaches something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, live it, inspire someone else to do the same. Because peace isn't a gift, it's a discipline. And the world desperately needs more disciplined souls who can walk through fire and still smile. The world today is loud. Everyone's shouting, scrolling, reacting, racing. Everywhere you turn, there's noise, news, opinions, notifications, endless drama disguised as meaning. And in the middle of it all, you're expected to keep up, to stay plugged in, to care about everything. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. Caring about everything drains you. Reacting to everything destroys your peace. The only way to survive this modern madness is to step back, to choose stillness in a world that worships chaos. Stillness isn't laziness. It's clarity. It's the ability to pause before you speak, to breathe before you break, to think before you drown in the noise. The Buddha taught that peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. That means you stop waiting for the world to calm down, and you start being the calm. You stop chasing validation because you already have worth. You stop trying to win every argument because you've learned that peace is the only real victory. There's something magnetic about stillness. People feel it when you walk into a room. Your quiet confidence speaks louder than words ever could. You no longer react to every opinion because you've built something stronger inside. Presence. And presence is power. It's what turns ordinary moments into sacred ones. It's what helps you see clearly what truly matters and what doesn't. But stillness doesn't come easy. It takes practice. It takes discipline. You'll fail sometimes. You'll get pulled back into old habits, into overthinking, into reacting. But that's okay. Every time you catch yourself, every time you return to your breath instead of your anger, you're growing. You're becoming the person who no longer needs to prove anything to anyone. Here's something to try today. When the world gets loud, don't run away. Slow down. When someone's words sting, don't defend. Listen quietly. When life doesn't go your way, don't panic. Observe. Watch the chaos, but don't become it. Because stillness isn't about escaping life. It's about mastering it. And when you do, something incredible happens. You start to feel light. You stop being pulled in 100 directions. You start walking with grace, speaking with intention, and living with peace. People will notice. They'll wonder what changed. The truth is simple. You stopped reacting and started being. So here's my call to you. Don't wait for life to slow down. Don't wait for people to understand you. Create your own stillness. Protect it like treasure. Because in a world that's constantly screaming for attention, your calm is your rebellion. Your silence is your strength. And your stillness, that's your power. It's easy to stay calm when you're alone. When the room is quiet, the air is still, and no one is testing your patience. But true peace isn't proven in solitude. It's proven in the noise, in traffic, in arguments, in disappointment, in the moments that make your blood boil. That's where your practice meets real life. Anyone can talk about peace, but few can live it when things fall apart. And yet, that's exactly where your power is forged. In relationships, this truth is brutal but freeing. You can't control how people treat you, but you can always control how you respond. Maybe someone misunderstands you, talks over you, or betrays your trust. The old you would have reacted, defended yourself, explained endlessly, maybe even retaliated. But now you pause. You see their behavior not as an attack, but as a reflection of their inner world. You don't need to absorb their chaos. You don't need to fix their pain. You simply breathe and choose peace. That's not weakness, that's mastery. You've learned that your energy is sacred, and not everyone deserves access to it. At work, the same lesson applies. People will test you, deadlines, egos, competition, pressure. The office is just another battlefield for the mind. But here's the thing, calm minds win wars. The person who can stay centered while others panic is the one people trust, the one who leads without shouting, the one who quietly wins respect. While everyone else reacts, you stay grounded. You see clearly. You move wisely. Because power doesn't come from control. It comes from composure. And in everyday life, traffic jams, long lines, unfair outcomes, the temptation to react never stops. But that's exactly why you must practice. Every annoyance is a chance to strengthen your inner stillness. Every test is a teacher. The Buddha said, "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." Every time you let frustration take over, it steals your peace and your energy. But every time you breathe instead of breaking, you gain strength. So, when the world tests you, when people push your buttons, when things fall apart, when nothing goes as planned, remember this. You don't have to react. You can stay calm. You can stay kind. You can stay powerful. Acting as if nothing bothers you doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means facing it with a clear mind and an open heart. And here's the beautiful twist. When you stop reacting, the world starts changing around you. Conflicts fade faster. Relationships soften. Opportunities open up. Because your calm becomes contagious. You start leading by example, showing people that strength isn't in shouting, but in staying centered. So the next time life throws you a storm, don't fight it. Stand still. Let it pass through you. Remember, peace isn't about having a perfect life. It's about having a powerful mind. And every day you practice, every moment you stay calm when you could have exploded, you're rewriting your story. You're becoming the person others look at and think, how do they stay so strong? The answer is simple. You've learned the art of peace in a world that profits from chaos. You've learned to act as if nothing bothers you, because nothing outside you truly can. There comes a moment when acting as if nothing bothers you stops being an act. It becomes who you are. You stop performing calmness and start living it. You stop needing to control everything, and instead, you trust yourself enough to let life unfold. This is where real transformation begins, not in temporary peace, but in unshakable composure that follows you everywhere. You see, the world will never stop testing you. People will misunderstand you. Situations will frustrate you. Plans will collapse. That's life. But the more you practice calmness, the more you realize that none of those things have the power to touch your inner world unless you allow them to. This is what it means to become untouchable. Not because you're emotionless, but because you've learned to stay centered no matter what comes your way. Imagine walking through a storm without getting soaked. That's what mental stillness feels like. The winds howl, but they don't move you. The world rushes, but you stay steady. You're no longer a victim of every emotion, every insult, every inconvenience. Instead, You're an observer, aware, awake, grounded. This doesn't mean you're detached from life. In fact, it's the opposite. You're fully present. You feel deeply, but you no longer drown. You see clearly, but you no longer cling. The Buddha taught that suffering doesn't come from what happens to us, but from how we respond. When you let go of control, you discover something extraordinary. Life starts to flow. You stop forcing, and things begin to align naturally. You stop reacting, and people begin to soften around you. You stop fighting reality, and suddenly peace feels effortless. Let's make this practical. Every day gives you chances to build this power. When someone cuts you off in traffic, breathe, smile, and keep driving. When someone speaks rudely, pause before replying, and remember that their tone is about them, not you. When life throws you an obstacle, say to yourself, "This is my training," because it is. Every small irritation is your gym for inner strength. Every challenge is an invitation to rise above reaction. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes. You begin to move differently, slower, more deliberate. Your words carry more weight because they come from calmness, not chaos. People start to trust you more. They feel safe around your energy. You no longer need to prove yourself. Your peace speaks for you. And here's the beautiful truth. When you live this way, you start to attract peace. You draw in the right people, the right moments, the right energy. The storms still come, but they pass faster. The noise still exists, but it doesn't reach you. You build a fortress inside your mind, but it's not made of walls. It's made of wisdom. So today, choose peace, not once, but over and over, until it becomes your default setting. Let people think what they want. Let life unfold as it will. Your job is not to control everything. Your job is to stay calm within it all. That's where true freedom begins. And if you're reading this, maybe it's because deep down, you're ready to stop letting the world decide how you feel. You're ready to take back your power, not through control, but through calm. So here's my call to you. Starting today, live as if nothing can shake your peace. When chaos calls, answer with silence. When life tests you, meet it with grace. When doubt whispers, remind yourself, I am untouchable because I am at peace. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs examples of stillness, strength, and love in motion. Be that example. Be the calm in someone else's storm. Be the reason someone remembers that peace is possible. Because when you master yourself, you don't just change your life. You change the energy of the world around you. So go out there, walk steady, speak softly, breathe deeply. And when life tries to shake you, smile. Because now you know, nothing can touch a mind that's free. There's a quiet kind of power that shows up when you stop chasing peace and start embodying it. It's not about escaping the world or running away to a mountaintop. It's about living awake, right here, in the messy, beautiful chaos of everyday life. Because real peace isn't tested in silence. It's tested in noise. It's tested in traffic, in conflict, in heartbreak, in loss. And if you can stay calm there, you've already won. Think about it. The real world doesn't pause just because you're trying to be mindful. Bills still come. People still disappoint you. Things still break. Yet the Buddha never told us to avoid the world. He told us to understand it. To see that everything, good or bad, is temporary. Once you realize that, you stop fighting reality. You stop asking, why me? And start saying, this too is part of my path. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I met a woman who had lost her job, her relationship, and her health, all within 6 months. Anyone else would have broken under that weight. But she didn't. She told me, I stopped asking why everything was happening to me and started asking what it was teaching me. Every morning, she'd write down one thing she still had: sunlight, breath, the sound of birds outside her window. She built gratitude out of nothing. And within a year, she rebuilt her entire life. Stronger, calmer, freer. That's what living awake looks like. It's easy to be peaceful in meditation. It's harder in conversation. It's easy to love people from afar. It's harder to love them when they disagree with you. But that's exactly where spirituality meets reality. Every uncomfortable moment is a classroom. Every difficult person is a teacher. Every setback is an invitation to remember your strength. When you live awake, you stop needing to escape your emotions. You start letting them move through you. Anger comes, you breathe through it. Fear rises, you see it clearly. Sadness visits, you make space for it, knowing it won't stay forever. This is emotional maturity, not pushing feelings away, but meeting them with compassion. And here's the truth that most people miss. Inner peace doesn't make you detached. It makes you more alive. Because when you're no longer overwhelmed by your own mind, you start to notice life's smallest miracles. The taste of your coffee, the way light hits your skin, the sound of laughter. You stop living on autopilot and start really being here. In the modern world, we're taught that strength means control, controlling our image, our outcomes, our emotions. But true strength, the kind the Buddha taught, is surrender, not giving up, but letting go. It's knowing that even when life doesn't go your way, you can still find meaning. It's choosing to live with grace, even when things fall apart. So, how do we practice this awake living every day? Start small. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of reacting, say silently, "May you be safe." The next time you fail, remind yourself, "This moment doesn't define me." The next time you feel lost, whisper, "I'm still here. I'm still breathing." Each time you do, you train your mind to choose peace over panic. Because here's the secret. Peace isn't something you find. It's something you build. Brick by brick, moment by moment, through patience, humility, and kindness, especially when no one is watching. And one day, you'll realize you become that rare kind of person, the one whose energy calms rooms, whose silence speaks volumes, whose presence feels at home. And if the world feels heavy sometimes, good, it means you care. Just don't let that caring turn into chaos. Learn to care deeply, but hold lightly. Love fully, but let go freely. Serve others, but never lose yourself. That's what it means to live awake in the real world. So, before you move on from this video, take a moment, close your eyes, breathe in, feel the life inside you. That's peace. That's your true nature, the part of you that can't be shaken. No matter what happens next, carry that peace into your day, into your work, into your relationships. Because the world doesn't change when you talk about calmness. It changes when you become it. If this message resonated with you, don't just keep it, live it. Be the reminder that calmness is power, kindness is strength, and peace is contagious. Share this with someone who needs it today. And together, let's make a world that feels a little more awake, a little more kind, and a lot more peaceful. Because when one person chooses peace, it doesn't stop there. It ripples out. And that ripple might just be the start of something the world desperately needs right now. There's something almost sacred about the moment when your inner calm transforms into action. When you stop seeking peace only for yourself and start living for others. Because peace on its own is beautiful, but peace with purpose, that's where the real magic happens. That's when your calm becomes a force that quietly changes the world. Think about this. The most powerful people in history were never the loudest. They were the calm ones, the ones who could walk into chaos and bring order, the ones who faced cruelty but chose compassion, the ones who could look pain in the eye and say, "You will not make me bitter." That's the kind of power the Buddha spoke of. Not domination, not control, but mastery of self. Because once you master yourself, the world can no longer control you. Turning peace into purpose begins with one simple realization. Your calm is not just for you. It's medicine for others. When you stay grounded in a storm, you give others permission to breathe. When you respond with kindness instead of anger, you change the entire tone of a moment. When you choose understanding over judgment, you heal invisible wounds. Your peace becomes a quiet revolution. Let me share a story. There's a man named Alan, a paramedic in Los Angeles. He told me that during one of the worst accidents he'd ever seen, a young woman trapped in a car was panicking, screaming, terrified. But instead of rushing, Alan took her hand and said gently, "You're safe now. I'm right here with you." He didn't have to say anything more. In that instant, her breathing slowed, her eyes softened. She felt peace because he was peace. Later, she told him that those few calm words saved her from losing hope. Alan didn't just do his job that day. He turned his inner peace into a gift. That's what purpose looks like. It's not always grand. Sometimes it's just holding space for someone else's pain without losing your balance. It's listening more deeply than you speak. It's being patient when everything around you is rushing. It's living in such a way that people feel safe in your presence, because your calm tells them it's okay to slow down too. In our world, everyone is chasing success. But what if the real success is peace? What if the person who wins is the one who can sit still in chaos and not lose themselves? You see, purpose doesn't mean doing more. It means being more present, more aware, more loving. When your peace turns into purpose, you stop asking, "What do I want from life?" and start asking, "What does life want from me?" Maybe it wants you to be the calm parent in a hectic home. Maybe it wants you to be the kind co-worker who listens instead of judges. Maybe it wants you to be the friend who brings stillness where others bring noise. Every role can become sacred if done with awareness. Buddhism teaches that service isn't about sacrifice, it's about connection. When you serve others from peace, you're not draining yourself. You're sharing something renewable, because true peace never runs out. In fact, the more you give it, the more it grows. That's how compassion works. It multiplies in motion. Now, imagine what would happen if more people lived this way. If every argument had one person who chose calm over chaos. If every business had one leader who led with wisdom instead of ego. If every community had one person who practiced understanding instead of hate. One peaceful mind in a room can shift the entire energy of it. That's the ripple effect of awakened living. So ask yourself, what are you doing with your peace? Are you keeping it locked inside? Or are you using it to soften the world around you? Are you reacting to life or responding with love? Because this is where your real impact begins, not in what you say, but in how you show up. And here's the truth. The world doesn't need more noise. It doesn't need more perfection. It needs more people who are calm enough to see clearly, kind enough to care deeply, and brave enough to live gently. That's the new revolution, the quiet one, the one that starts inside and spreads outward, one peaceful action at a time. If you want to live with purpose, start small. Help without being asked. Forgive without needing an apology. Listen without waiting for your turn to speak. Let your peace be felt in how you walk, talk, and love. You don't need to change the entire world. Just change the energy in the room you're in. And when you do, something extraordinary happens. You'll notice that the same calm that once healed you will begin to heal others. You'll see that peace isn't just a destination. It's a movement. One that starts with you, right here, right now. So take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. And remember, you're not just here to survive. You're here to serve, to embody peace so deeply that others can feel it when you walk in, to turn every moment into a reflection of what's possible when you live awake. Be that person, the one who doesn't just talk about light, but becomes it, the one who proves that stillness is strength, that compassion is courage, and that peace, real, grounded, unstoppable peace, is the most powerful purpose of all. You've come this far, through every part, every lesson, every quiet realization that maybe peace isn't something to chase, it's something to remember. We've walked through storms together, the noise, the hurt, the letting go, and here at the end, something beautiful becomes clear. Nothing was ever missing. The stillness you were searching for was always waiting within you, quietly, patiently, like an old friend who never left. This isn't the end of the path. It's a return to yourself, to the version of you that knows how to breathe before reacting, how to see before judging, how to love without needing to own. That's the heart of every Buddhist teaching. Not about escaping life, but embracing it so deeply that even pain becomes part of your peace. You see, the real transformation doesn't happen on the cushion or in the pages of a book. It happens in the grocery line, in the arguments, in the heartbreaks, in the ordinary moments where life feels too heavy, and you choose to stay calm anyway. You choose awareness instead of anger. You choose compassion over control. You choose to be the peace you once begged the world to give you. That's where mastery begins. That's what acting as if nothing bothers you truly means. Not pretending, not numbing yourself, but knowing that whatever rises also passes. That no emotion, no insult, no storm can truly touch the quiet place you built inside. And once you find that, you begin to walk differently through the world. Your silence becomes strength. Your gentleness becomes power. But I'll be honest with you, it's not always easy. Some days you'll forget. Some days the world will get loud and old habits will whisper, react, fight, defend. And that's okay. Every moment gives you another chance to come back. Every breath is an invitation to return to peace. Because this journey isn't about perfection. It's about remembering. And now, as you reach this final part, I want you to pause. Just breathe. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel how alive you are. All the noise, all the lessons, all the striving, it all comes down to this moment, this breath. This is where peace lives. Not tomorrow. Not when life is perfect. Right here, you have a gift now, a way of seeing that most people never find. And with that gift comes a quiet responsibility to live it, to share it, to let your calm be a light in a world that's forgotten how to slow down. You don't need to preach. You don't need to convince anyone. Just be it. Walk gently. Speak with intention. Let your presence remind others that it's possible to live awake, to love without fear, to stay soft even when the world turns hard. Maybe that's how we change things, not with grand gestures, but with the small moments of grace we choose each day, when we forgive instead of resent, when we listen instead of argue, when we see someone's pain and choose not to turn away. And if something in these words touched you, then take it with you. Let it shape the way you wake up tomorrow. Let it soften the way you speak to yourself. Let it remind you that peace isn't something you visit. It's something you become. So as we close this journey, Don't think of it as an ending. Think of it as a beginning, your beginning. The moment you decided that calm isn't weakness, that kindness isn't naive, and that stillness isn't silence, it's strength. If these teachings have spoken to you, carry them into your world. Share them, live them, breathe them, because someone out there needs a version of you who's at peace. Someone needs your light to remember their own. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. You don't have to save the world. You just have to stop adding to its noise. That's how peace spreads, one mindful, loving person at a time. So, my friend, breathe deeply, stand tall, and walk forward with a quiet smile. You are exactly where awakening begins. And when life gets loud again, remember this. You've already found the calm. Now, all you have to do is live it.